Okay, I was trying to record a video, but then my brain just like kind of um just one of them things. Dealing with bronchitis, keeps interrupting me. But during that video, I opened my Bible again to just a random page. Landed on Psalms again, Psalms 8. As I was reading it, I was reading it out loud to the viewer, and it like my brain just turned off. Almost like a certain someone who won't be named. You know who it is. You know who I'm referring to. Does not like the fact that I am making videos preaching the gospel. And one thing I can say about Psalms 89 after just finishing it, gosh, it reminds me of Charlie Kirk. Why? Well, read it for yourself. It talks about, I'll read a passage in it, and then you tell me. Let me see, where was the part that I read? I was like, wow, this Charlie Kirk, there it is. Remember, Lord, how your servant has been mocked, how I bear in the heart of taunts of all nations, the taunts with which your enemies have mocked, O Lord, with which they have mocked every step of your anointed one. Of course, that doesn't mean Charlie Kirk. Of course not. But this, look at Charlie Kirk. He was mocked, hated, and all he did was preach the gospel. Preach the gospel and just wanted to talk to everyone. Psalms is great, by the way. I highly recommend it. It's a good one. Man. I remember one night, I was just, watching YouTube shorts. It's random things, and I remember thinking, I did not say this out loud, because you all know that sometimes when you say something out loud, then you start seeing ads about similar things. Almost like they're listening. Of course they are. Obvious. And come on now. But I thought to myself, not a single word was uttered because my wife was sleeping. I didn't want to wake her up. I just remember thinking to myself, Dear Jesus, please start getting your word flooded in my YouTube feed. And I kid you not even within 2 seconds. Not even the very next YouTube short. Not a single one of them prior to them was anything involving Jesus. Not a single one. There was no gospel. There was no word of the Lord. There was no hymns. Nothing. It was just all standard YouTube content that my excuse me, that my YouTube feed normally throws in my face. Video games, memes, the standard stuff that people go on YouTube to look at. And then the very next one. And then the one after that. And then the one after that. And then the one after that. Even to this day, Jesus answered my prayer. So, yeah, people sit there and say that God ain't real. People sit there and say that when someone gets injured and then literally within weeks after prayer, someone gets healed, that, oh, it's just, the brain, chemicals. I don't buy it. God works in ways that we can never understand, that we will never understand. He used Charlie Kirk in ways that I found to be amazing. He was very outspoken. He went out there, despite the fact that his life being taken from us could have literally happened sooner, but it didn't. He allowed Charlie to do what he did, to reach out to people, to spread his word. And now people worldwide are seeing that what he was talking about, a lot of truth to it. I still am trying to process the fact that that man is gone. And yet, despite the fact I did not know him, I didn't really know who he was till after the fact. And then I started watching his stuff. I remember talking to a friend of mine. I wish I started watching him sooner. And this was while I was doing my research to see if any of the comments about him being a fascist or him being a racist or him being anything were true. Still looking. I'm still not finding anything. Like I said, if you really want a true opinion for yourself, if you want to have individual thinking and not have people control what you think, that's one thing that God gave us when sin was born was free will. He gave us the free will to decide for ourselves. My free will, I choose to follow Jesus openly. Not afraid. Used to be. I used to be terrified. Didn't want to talk about the things that I believed in. Didn't want to talk about how awesome Jesus is because I was and it took a great man's life to end for me to not be afraid. Well, better late than never, as the saying goes. I'll continue to post more stuff. I definitely highly recommend reading the Bible. Whether you're religious or not, it's a great book. The world feels weird. Charlie Kirk, a good man, gone. Lost a granddad last month. At the end of last year, I lost my sister. Beginning of last year, I lost my grandfather-in-law. One thing I can say is a great awakening has started, but not the same way that a great awakening happened with the left, where they started burning cities down, burning their own communities down, destroying people's lives, ending business, destroying homes. Yeah, I'm definitely will never vote Democrat. They support so much violence and it's so obvious, but people just refuse to see. There are tons of people out there that do see it. Don't get me wrong, they see it, but there are lots of people out there that just are part of the left that refuse to see it. But of course, there are people on the left that are now realizing it, and it took Charlie Kirk's life for them to realize how demonic they are. They sit there and said that he was a fascist. Go look at the history books, read, and you'll see what fascism looks like. Calling him Hitler of the modern era. Oh my gosh. Please. There hasn't been a Hitler since... Oh, Hitler. Kidding me? I can't... I plan on doing some research on world leaders that are alive today that I would even consider close to Hitler. I'm sure there are a few, but he definitely ain't one of them. Trump is not another. I don't even know why people say that he is. He used to be revered by everyone, talking about he's who you want to inspire to because he's so successful. And now look at him. He's the only president in history that's actually losing money becoming a president. That man didn't need to become president. He could have easily sat on the sidelines and kept his mouth shut. Continued to rake in billions of dollars. He did. Looks like, based on what I'm seeing, he happily sacrificed that. And yes, he has done things in the past that were questionable, but here is the thing. Everyone has. Every single person. People you admire. People I admire. One of the people I admire is very close to me, and his, in terms of his service record, is amazing, but his personal record kind of sucks. But either way, he's still a good man when it comes to him doing what he needs to do for his duty. Every person has skeletons in their closet. The only difference is, are people willing to acknowledge that the skeletons that are in our closet is not what defines us? It's our actions that define us. And if our actions today say that, we're trying to improve not only ourselves, but the people around us, then what happened 10 years ago is irrelevant. Irrelevant. My name, Mr. Irrelevant. It's irrelevant. Jesus was around for a little over 30 years, and he turned the entire world upside down. Charlie Kirk was on this earth for a little over 30 years, and he literally turned an entire country upside down. Now, I am not saying Charlie Kirk is Jesus, not even close. No one can compare to Jesus, no one ever will. Jesus is perfect, the definition, and no human being can be perfect. But he was. Before you sit there and say, oh, but Jesus was human, he was the living embodiment of God. God is three: the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Not just one being, it's trifecta. People sit there, they're just saying, like, God can be all powerful and all knowing, but it can't be benevolent or such other things. There's even a quote in the Batman vs Superman movie that Lex Luthor did that people, like, preach all the time. And I say that is definitely not true. My God is loving. He is just. He is all knowing. And he has a plan for every single person, whether you like to admit it or not, even the people on the left. He's using them for something. And Jesus does not want us to fight. He wants us to love, pray, and forgive. And that's one thing that I have been striving for the past, I would say, 5 years. Been working on myself very hard, is to love, forgive. Lots of people have done me a lot of wrong, so much wrong. Doesn't define me. I have forgiven every single one of them. One of them, I really need to call and let him know that I forgive him. I just have not gotten around to it. Like, every single time I think of it, and I distract myself. I might do that right after this video. I need to do it before it's too late. I want to do it in person, but man, is it hard. My bills. And it's not because the economy is like where I'm at right now, economy's fine. I make enough money to pay my bills. It's not an issue. It's just I keep losing vacation time, and because I keep getting sick and something keeps happening, so I haven't been able to go to where I want to go to let him know that I love him and I forgive him. And it's tough. Everyone everywhere is struggling. But the difference is, are you working to better? Or are you letting your struggles control your actions? It's another thing we need to think about. Yeah, before I keep ranting, I'm going to end it here. Thank you so much. I love you all. I love every single one of you. And I will pray for every single person on the left and on the right. I will pray for every single person to receive some grace, love, affection, acceptance. Because there are a lot of people out there that feel as though they are not loved or accepted. I can name quite a few personally, and I'm just wondering why. Because they are loved and they are accepted. I love them and I accept them, and they still feel as though that they're not. Sometimes all it takes is one person to change your mind, to see the light. Luckily for me, I saw the light my whole life. I just refused to look at it till recently. Can't really say when, but excuse me. It definitely wasn't within this year. It was before this year, for sure. 100%. But yeah. Read the Bible, I promise. It's an amazing read. A fantastic book. Best book ever written. Anyway. Thank you so much for listening to me talk, listening to me rant. See you tomorrow. Or the next day. I don't know. I haven't figured out what my schedule is going to be like when it comes to uploading videos. Maybe it will be every day, multiple times a day. Not sure yet. But either way, thank you for listening. And if you have reached this far, appreciate it. I hope you have a fantastic